Undocking.
Jeez.
I should have been watching them. Not drinking. Not meeting a boy at the lake.
I deserve to be punished.
We all deserved to be punished.
Jeez. My special boy. Do you know what your gift is? No matter what they do to you, you cannot die. You can never die. You've just been sleeping, honey. But now, the time has come to wake up. Mommy has something she wants you to do. I need you to go to Elm Street. The children have been very bad on Elm Street. Rise up, Jason! Your work isn't finished! Hear my voice and live again! Make them remember me, Jason! Make them remember what fear tastes like!
This is New Eden. An anomaly even within the data break network. Ever since the dawn of aviation, mankind has looked to the skies with hopeful expectation of conquering the stars. Beyond the remnants of the shattered gate, a universe of impossible splendor lies among an endless sea of stars. These are the sounds of the cosmos, the sounds that echo through every corner of the universe. This is New Eden FM.
Oh, hello and welcome to a new week of exciting content and epic tunes. This is New Eden FM, the radio show, bringing you news from across the galaxy, whether that's dev or player created. This is Maestro, sincerely your DJ in the studio. And of course, what am I without my trusty wing peoples? Latara, how are you on today, my friend?
I'm not bad. I literally just docked after killing 10 Bill with a 3-man gang, well, 4-man gang, so I'm kind of rocking the high right now.
Ain't war pretty?
I gotta say, I love my tackle pilots. Anyone who's ever tackled for me, I fucking love you.
Oh, I know. You have a very stellar relationship with Tama. I think we all do. Tama flies a bell tag at the moment, so it's like, yeah, good for us.
Oh, not just Tama. I mean, you've got guys like Miller, Screams. Oh, amazing tackle just now, and obviously Tama. And there's many, many more. I mean, we've got a couple of great ones in Bell, and
I agree with you. Yeah,
wouldn't want them to feel left out. I mean, Lafayette and Lux,
definitely
top notch.
Yeah, Lafayette is getting a lot better, and the only thing is, his ability to play the game very often. And Miller, I know that right now we are fighting on the same side this campaign and everything, but it's because we work like different divisions, and sometimes we have like 5 different fleets going. It's really difficult to kind of like keep up with who the tackle pilots are at a time. But yeah, sending love to all the tackle pilots who are the actual superstars, because they never get the kill mails. They just help to produce the kill mails. And of course, Alondria of the Galaxy, I gotta check to make sure that it is the genuine copy of you on the show on today.
Yes, indeed, I am the genuine copy. And, hey, y'all, keep it down over there. Yeah, the other non-genuine copies of me are making a little noise there in the corner. They're plotting something. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be fun.
So, guys, on today's show, New Eden News, featuring some rather interesting new drops from the devs, including a new Concord Pass and a new Inscription of the Galaxy. Of course, your weekly Q&A as well. The Content Creators Corner, featuring one of the coolest war propaganda posts that we have ever had, like, in the history of the game. Don't talk about Bruno, right? And of course, your State of the War covering, oh my goodness, I guess a lot of stuff. Can we say anything else?
And it's only going to get busier.
Oh, no kidding.
Hang on, I've just got to address one thing. Drea just pinged me. Obviously, Drea, you know I love my Logi pilots. Every Logi pilot stopping me from becoming a lost male. Oh, every single one of you. Anyone who flies primary Logi, y'all are the shit.
We'll be back in just a bit for New Eden News. Right now, in the mix, this is Soldier of Heaven by Sabaton. Turn it up, check it out. Welcome everyone to New Eden to New Eden News. And this week we actually got some pretty cool stuff from the devs. I'm fairly impressed. I mean, with the Concord Pass, we kind of expected that because the other one's Lifeline. Well, I mean, everyone knows when the Concord Passes are when new Concord Passes are coming up, right? I mean, it's not some big mystery. So we did get the new Concord Pass, and this one is which nanocores, Latara?
It's the Trailblazer and some of the Ascension.
Yeah. So the Ascensions are really popular because, as everyone knows, speed is meta right now. But it is really great that we have other options as well because, you know, these cores are not for... They don't make the cores for every single ship. So it's kind of nice to have options. And many of those Trailblazer cores cover ships that don't have an Ascension core. So a lot of the co-op ships, like Blackbirds, they got Trailblazer cores.
The Trailblazer cores are designed to be Hictor cores, but they do work on the Covops quite nicely.
They work on the Covops nicely. Geez, man. Because our Hictors really needed... I'll be honest with you. They actually did need cores to cater to them. They really did.
No, they've had cores for a while. Dark Hallow is a really good one for them.
When was the last time you saw?
They had an Ascension.
Yeah, but when was the last time you saw a Dark Halo core up there for them?
I mean, they had a Dark Hallow and Ascension, and I think the Hictors have actually had more than a lot of ships, to be honest.
That's a very good point. I know that they've had more than capital ships.
For sure.
Right. So, guys, make sure that your Concord Pass, and I realize that this is 3 or 4 days too late, but make sure that you reroll your Concord Passes because, seriously, I know that when you're in the middle of a war and there's all kinds of stuff going on, tons of pinging being done, it's easy to forget that. If Drea hadn't said something in chat a few days ago, I would have forgotten about that. So, got in there, re-rolled mine, make sure that I was getting those points, and kept on going. Not all of us can find time to crab like Latara, so I have mine set to other things.
Don't know what you're talking about. I never go ratting.
Yeah, I actually agree with Drea. We do need more Logi cores. There was only one that came out, and I think you were able to get it 2 times straight. And that was it. After that, they pretty much just got rid of it. So, yeah, we could use, but yeah. And Amy is saying that she has 2. I remember she did invest in 2 because she has like 4 or 5 Hurricane Logi. But the thing is, that's the only core we saw for like logistics. And our Logi pilots, when you think about it, I kind of get it. You know, the question was raised, why do you need more than one core? Well, it's simple. When one of your Logi gets blown up, you're not getting that core back for 12 hours. So you jump into the next one and it has a core on it. It's great. To Drea and to Amy, who are our dedicated Logi pilots, I'm going to go as far as to say Logi holes because I know that it will be accepted by my peoples. Thank you guys for your dedication, for having like Logi out the ass, and for keeping us nice and safe. I feel that much better when I am in fleet with you guys during this really long and arduous campaign. So these new cores are good. If you are a Hictor, if you're a Dictor, you're serving in these fleets, please get them. It is fantastic for you. If you are something else, then you just want a new paint job for your ship, I guess. Go for it. Why?
I mean, you've missed the big one, Kenzie.
Did I?
You can now get a battleship up to about 4 AU warp speed.
Yeah, because of the warp. Wait, so hold on. This is actually a. I had to sit there and think about that. I guess for rook
the general
pilots.
general one for the battleships, faction cruisers, etc. all have warp speed bonuses. So you can have an Ashamu that warps close to a Cinnable speed. You can, it's nuts and awesome. I was doing the maths on a Megathron because I'm a hoe for railguns, and quite literally, I think I got it to 4 AU in the fitting tool.
Oh, jeez. I don't think it's Doctrine though.
4 AU with a 3.2 second align time with no ice tab fit.
Jeez, man, that's disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting.
My goal is to get a Megathron at basically cruiser warp speeds and join the Hollander roams that Bloody and Tama run.
Yeah, shout out to Bloody, by the way, who has done a fantastic job with those. I would say that those are Vanguard class fleets. Absolutely extraordinary. Because of how that whole thing works. We're at the same point value as Dead, Twix, and Pew, who are numbers 5, 6, and 7 respectively. We're at 8. So, for my ninjas, great job, guys. Keep shooting those hulls.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Still got a long way to go till the final tallies, but I'm currently working on a plan for that for Bell, so I will inform my CEO once I've got all the details ironed out.
Yeah. Of course.
Sounds ominous.
Of course, it does sound ominous. Well, I mean, we did happen to put our greasy little meat hooks on a citadel, and it's floating out there in void space.
Yeah, I saw that on the map. There's actually a Bell Citadel in void space.
Gotta love Anjiro for remembering to take a Intosis link to that fight. I think it was Anjiro.
That is how you do get those.
Oh my gosh. So apparently, both Dre and Amy are correcting me. The correct term is Logi Queens, and apparently there's some kind of bickering and pinging of rep because someone has a tag and someone doesn't have a tag and some other shit. Great. Better get on that rep. I'm not saving your ass this time.
So we told Pew they needed to take it. So obviously, Pew Phoenix, named after the great man himself.
Mm-hmm.
And but the person who took it decided to name it after his rear end, which, to be fair,
what?
Can't blame him. Can't blame him.
What?
It's a mighty fine booty.
Yeah.
What?
So how much is going to be offered for somebody to acquire a picture of Phoenix's booty? That seemed to be a thing last week, but I figure we'll go with his booty this week.
Wait, Bootylicious? So, hold on. Yjack actually did claim when I named it Bootylicious. I knew that was... You know what? We are way off bases right now, aren't we? But,
yeah, I mean, to be...
really?
I'm quite fond of Spymaster when he took one for EMP and just renamed it to Spymaster Was Here.
Jeez. And
Gotta lie.
I think that
Accurate.
the worst one I think of the week was Rep took one of them and said should have kept MILF.
Yeah, and he actually that group had already used the free name change on the structure, so Rep paid for it out of pocket.
Jeez, man, that is dedication right there, man. But either way, it has been pretty interesting. And yeah, right now, all the Citadel, uh, all of the inscription of the galaxy and the points for like citadels and stuff like that. Well, I mean, war does a very fun thing, and now it's basically just raining points. Of course, there is the other inscription of galaxy that you can get in on. Of course, Void can get in on the inscription of galaxy by, well, they just got to attack our stuff, which they did on yesterday. I just want to point that out. They haven't been laying down on this. So
Yeah, Voids, as they call them, the dragons, which is the +8s, the Chinese in Void Alliance, have been hitting burr structures daily. I think we've got pretty much most of our main pocket in armor right now.
ooh, boy,
And
congratulations
to be
Void.
honest, they can blow it up for all most of us care. So
Yeah, but I mean, it's still pretty good. It's great that they are on the offense as well. You know, you can't win a purely defensive war. It just doesn't work that way.
Oh,
History
yeah,
has
yeah,
proven
yeah.
that. So, so I admire the fighting spirit of the Void, and I hope that they will continue to do what they're doing because it's awesome. And of course, we cannot have a show without your weekly Q&A, which I believe dropped on yesterday. Um, so, question number one. Our phones have only so much real estate. Being in nullsec requires constant attention to newts, reds flying through our system, and this requires you to have to use the local tab or keep it open to see if the system has any newts or reds. Would it be possible to consider changing the total population displayed during a total friendlies box, half green, half blue, non-friendlies box, half gray, half red? This could improve the quality of life for players and much more immersive experience. So the answer to this is it is difficult to display more
Located
complicated
here.
information in a very limited space, but thanks for your feedback. That is that's borderline EO level screen real estate type. I mean, it's not a bad. It really isn't a bad suggestion, but yeah, that's stuff that you expect in EVE Online, where it's like you're looking at a bunch of like statistics all surrounding the screen, and then you look at that tiny little center part, and that is the actual game. Sorry guys, clearing my throat. Um, Question number two, can we please introduce the possibility to scrap repo old ships that I don't use anymore? Maybe use the same skill as scrap reprocessing and even maybe spice it up with a small chance of getting rigs back based on repo skill. The answer to that is the best way to deal with old ships now is to sell them on the market to players who need them. But old ships reprocessing may be added in the future, but it is not in our current plans. Returning skill points or rigs are not in our plans. Okay, cool. Question number three. It is very difficult for new players to hold on to the game. Old players hunt new players. It's almost impossible to counter them. Can you give them some kind of shield for a few days? You can give free gifts, ships, IP, etc. The answer to that is we have always wanted to teach new players combat skills. For this reason, we have the novice tutorials, faction war games, etc. to teach new players how to handle various situations in New Eden. We also have rookie packs for them. Not to mention, in addition to all those things, there are corporations that these people can join that can teach them how to survive and how to thrive. I mean, Latara, you are a member of Bell. You know, Fancy Warrior has done extraordinary since he's been there, and he's a new guy. He's a new guy. He's already flying out there and getting kills and stuff. It's great.
oh yeah, been so proud of him. He's been stepping up, and he was like, oh, how should I fit this for joining Rome's? Do this and the next thing, like. And I mean, if people are willing to learn, there are a lot of people out there willing to teach you.
Yeah, 100. And he's doing exceptionally well. And he's a new player. We met him roughly 2 or 3 months ago. It's all about how much the player wants to improve and grow and be better. Um, just my personal opinion on that. Please share if you feel a little bit different in the sound of us. But the whole goal, most of these nullsec corporations will take in new players almost at day one. I know that Pew has a few exceptions where they want more experienced players in their numbers because they cater to that kind of community. But there are many groups who will take in a new player
But
and teach them.
even Pew will take in someone who has the right attitude and willing to really put the work in. They have taken on a few very inexperienced PvPers and some new pilots, but they have to impress.
Yeah, yeah, and I gotta tell you, like with Fancy Warrior, he came in and he really did impress. He impressed a lot of us. His work ethic, impressed me. He was always trying to find a way to make ISK out in nullsec. He used the buyback systems. He was always asking for ships, so he wasn't like hoarding ISK for something Care Bear. I mean, the guy is super solid, and I just wish that more new pilots could come into the game and be like him. Um,
Anything ever in their development plan? Like,
It does make you
seriously,
wonder sometimes what is in the development plan.
Exactly. I wonder. I think there's a blank piece of paper, and they just look at it and say, nope, not there.
Jeez. Well, I mean, I can tell you that every patch update, it seems like there are new updates to the store, so that's in the development plan. But okay. The next question is containers. Will you be adding them in the future? It would be nice to be able to manage your inventory in a different way than to use the filter. It's already scheduled. Stay tuned. Okay, fine. Right. That's fantastic. We can finally get containers. The final question, autopilot system prefers shorter mode, could calculate the different space speed in different security areas. It would in the current system, shorter distance don't equal shorter times sometimes. And the answer to that is very good suggestion. We'll consider adding this feature into the game. So it's pretty much what I expect. The more major questions that are being asked, like, hey guys, can you maybe do this thing, or hey, can you maybe do that thing, such as adding sounds to the capital ship turrets, or I don't. It's fine if they don't want to actually invest in the development of sounds. That's something that EVE Online is currently doing. That's part of the big November update for those of you guys that don't know about it or you're not in the know. You can check those things out on the EVE Online Frontier. But I believe that EVE Evolved and a lot of other things are going to be a part of that. And yeah, it's pretty nice. The update is called Uprising. And they are working on a lot of things from visual to sound to how people interact with NPCs and so on and so forth. Now, please keep in mind, in their defense, they are not an endless sea of people, but I do believe where they fall short. They fall short in the way that they don't know how to cater to the community that is actually in the game, playing the game. It's very much disappointing, and I mean, how do you fix that, right?
It's one of those. I think people jump in and out of this game. I mean, it is a more casual game than a lot of than EO, but it's also it's a more hardcore game than I think a lot of mobile gamers are used to. So
Probably.
yeah,
Probably. Well, I believe that is the conclusion of New Eden News for today, anyway. So, I mean, whatever they decide that they're going to do, they're going to do it. In the mix right now, this one is a shout out to The Bromance of the Three Kingdoms, Miss New Booty by Bubble Sparks. Turn it up.
On New Eden FM.
And that right there be a Sheep's brand new single, Space Gangster. And look, it's the man himself in the studio with us today. It's been a long time, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine, thank you.
Excellent, excellent. And this of course is the latest in. I think this is your third single. Since you got into the
No,
rap game.
I think it's 5. I think you missed some. So yeah, it's 5.
It has been like, I mean, dude, I try to keep up with them all, but it can be a little bit challenging. But
Yeah.
this one is, I gotta tell you, I love the other ones, but this one is the most creative yet. It's like every single time you drop a new track, you you find a way to take another step. I really admire the sampling that you used in this one, the player warp scramble part. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So would you just talk to us a little bit about your creative process with putting this together?
All right. Yeah. Well, sometimes I just can't help to write like lyrics, and I never thought about doing raps until pretty much Eve Echoes. And so yeah, I write some Eve Echoes raps now and then, and this one I felt I wanted to do something that anyone can relate to, that is a badass in space. So I got this beat from Kai Trax. He's a beat maker on YouTube, and so I kind of just ripped it from him. I asked for permission. He said it's fine. So yeah, I mean, I just hear a beat and I get this kind of, what do you call it, like lyrics in my head. And I'm sorry, this is my kids in the background and wife. But
No worries.
yeah, and so yeah, I try to make it so that people can relate to what I'm saying, like oh 07 in chat, and talking about webbing and scrambling, and yeah, I just make it fun.
Well, absolutely. And the thing is, it's still content that caters to the Eve universe. I mean, anyone who's ever been out there, either in PvP of their own volition, or whom like me got YOLO to a gate or something like that, and then got like 3 or 4 warp scrambles put on them, knows exactly how that feels. So you definitely have a touch, a specific creative touch when it comes to putting those things into words. And of course, rap is a type of poetry in motion. To put to music, and you do it beautifully. So, congratulations
you.
on yet another good track.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the time when I start singing, because everything is fun. So we start singing, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, I'm happy that people like it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I literally did not get an opportunity to listen to it until like 5 minutes before we went on the air. Like when you posted it, I'm like, oh crap, we're going live. So
yeah,
it was kind of a surprise for me as well. I'm like, you know what? I mean, we got to have the man himself to talk about this new record. And contrary to what Amy might believe, all of the rest of the rap that we had during the show, I mean, yes, we have been snatching up that booty lately. I realize that, but really, it's kind of a homage to Ashiv, who is a rapper, and I think that's pretty awesome. So,
what? Am I a rapper now, just because I have 5 songs?
You're a rapper now. Yeah, you're officially a rapper now. You didn't know that?
Cool. That's
yeah,
cool.
Dude, I was technically officially a music producer when I did my first label release. Technically.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I mean, technically.
All right. Okay, cool.
So there you go. You are officially a rapper now that you've released
Very cool.
two tracks now.
Yeah, I can have to say that I like it. But yeah, I mean, we can't see everything that we all do stuff, and we got so many content creators, so there's some stuff that gets like swiped away or like get under the radar. For example, I'm looking for a new home. I'm unfortunately leaving the Space Cows, and I haven't told like anyone personally about it. I just told it on YouTube, and some people had no idea until today. And I was like, I've been posting it for almost a week now. So
I mean, what makes you decide you want a change of scenery, Sheev? That's the question I think a lot of people are wondering.
Yeah, I've got that question a couple of times, and it's nothing personal. I still love the Space Cows, It's just that I feel I wanna maybe see stuff from the other side. Um, I think that's what like started it all, and then I got so much people calling me like, can you please come to our space? And I was like, yeah, maybe I can move around. I don't know. So
I
we'll see
mean,
where I will end up. But
true.
yeah,
I mean, I think that oh, good grief. Weird Bob, he did something very similar to that when he left his corporation for a while, and he just kind of did this tour, and he went around and joined different corporations, flew with their pilots, did some fleets, and at the end of the day, he just came back home. He's like, yeah, this is where I want to be, and so there's nothing really wrong with doing that. Especially if you have a pretty good
I know.
relationship with most of the pilots that play the game. You can pretty much just say, hey guys, can I come fly with you? Lead some fleets, do whatever. Um, no specifically is pretty good on that. If you want to just fly with them or whatever, they'll MPSI with you. You want to lead the fleet? Okay, MPSI. Just if it, as long as it doesn't look like you wiped them on purpose or something stupid like that, just don't, just
No,
don't
no,
do
no.
that. But for the most part, if your aim is to get around the universe and to check out these different communities, I say, go for it. Like, why wouldn't you do that, right?
I think it's good. I think it's a way to grow. And as I said, I'm not sure if I'm staying, but most likely I am staying because where I go, I will be loyal. So I will probably stay for a year at least. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I've been a space cow since start, and that's 2 years. And in my heart, I'm always a space cow, and I got a lot of friends in the space cow. So yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like I have time enough to be a part of Space Cows, but that will be pretty much the same thing wherever I go. But maybe I can find some way. I don't know. We see. It's a change for me.
Yeah. Well, so Ashiv, maybe I missed it when you said it earlier, but where are you just like undecided where you're headed next, or have you already like landed someplace?
Uh, well, I've been thinking about SHH, and I've been thinking about Void. Um, I've been thinking about No. I've been thinking about a couple of pirate factions. But
Yeah, come to Burr.
I did. Yeah, yeah. I've been thinking about Bird too. But I did a poll on YouTube where the most of my space huggers are, like where the most supporters are, and it turns out to be Void. So I'm not sure. Void is in a good place right now, but it's not definitive yet.
I think so. I mean, Void has been, they've been putting up some pretty good fights. Vetamune is always a really good guy. I wish that we could have him on the show. But he's been very respectful of things, and we've DM'd one another over the past 2 days since we had this fleet fight on Friday, where he was working with some of his more younger, less experienced pilots in a fleet, and he really wanted that fight. And we talked about it from more of a retrospect from an FC standpoint, not like from a war perspective. And I think that that's really good because Void has they have been in major conflicts before. Make no mistake about it. They're not like super soft teddy bears or anything like that. But it has been a while since they were in a full-scale war where their territory was actually in danger. And so this is an opportunity for
Yeah.
Vet to be able to come in and say, "Hey guys, listen, we need to do this. We need to do this. We need to do this." And I mean, you never really want to put your pilots under fire like that, but sometimes under fire is the best way to learn. Um, it's just
And
the
get
way,
friends.
yeah, it's a good way to make friends. It's a good way to grow your bonds. And the fortunate thing is that it's already been announced, and we can underline this 3 times. The goal is not to destroy Void. It's just to create some content, make a little bit of ISK, because of course we're pirates. So I think that this is a good chance for them to maybe, grow their military strength and learn how to work together with their allies. But that's a part of the state of the war, I guess. As far as content
Yeah, yeah.
creation, though, this war has created some of the coolest content that I've seen personally. This new content creator, and I've got to give him a shout out, or her a shout out, Capsulaire Anonymous, who put together the video "A Peaceful Day in New Eden. We Don't Talk About Bruno," or Burno. And that video literally cascaded into a full-on theme. I'm not sure if someone has the media from the Burno Coalition server, but Rep said there after we looked at this and was like, wow, this is great content, and he put together tags for us, and so now we officially have like coalition branding and stuff. It is absolutely amazing, all because this guy posted this video. If someone can post the video again in the sound of us, he's a new content creator, but man, oh man, 5 stars for that guy for putting that together, because it's absolutely phenomenal. It is phenomenal, and I love it.
When I heard that the first time, I thought, dude, is he gonna sing? That would be awesome.
I mean,
yeah, I was hoping it would be like a fully sung thing as well myself.
Me too.
My goodness.
But yeah, it was good. I laughed.
It was good. It was a great laugh, and Amy just posted the one of the medias that Rep created the other day from that content. So yeah, it's fantastic. I'm gonna see if I can find the video.
The great part is I got 4 kids, so I've seen that video like 5 times or maybe 10 times from the start. So yeah, give me a smile.
100, and here is a post, or here is a share of the link. So those of you who have not checked out this really awesome content can do so. Oh, hey, someone posted it for me. Thanks, Tofanofo. Yeah, okay, good. Yeah, go and support the video. It is absolutely hilarious. And I just love how in tune this guy is with everything that is happening right now. It's great. It's solid gold. So, I believe that is your Content Creators Corner. We'll be doing the State of the War on the next segment, and holy cow. Hey, where's Stony? Stony was just here a moment ago. Anyway.
He said he'd be right back.
Okay. To New Eden FM State of the War Report, and this has been a segment that has either been somewhat desolate the past few months, if not skipped over entirely, because we haven't really had any major wars. As you guys know, not last Thursday, but the Thursday of the following or the previous week, No and Burr as a coalition declared war against Void. And this war was mostly to be a content war, and it still is a content war. Of course, the Void Citadels are for grabs because the, what can I say? We're pirates and we like booty, which is clearly evident if you cruise through Void space and you check out some of the citadels that have been in Tosis. You will find that most of them are booty related, one capacity or another. I still say that Amy Van Bell is to blame because she cascaded this entire thing on last week. But moving beyond this fact, as of right now, and there are more particulars and we can get into that, but there are 38 citadels in timer. 38 citadels. This is my count 5 minutes ago. Unless someone did not input anything, 38.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yep. And it looks...
So
Sure, please go ahead, Latara.
it's one of those. It's a rough time for Void, but I am hopeful that they can pull off a comeback from behind, especially with all the help they appear to be getting from their allies. Right, I am also currently engaged 3v6, I think. So I'm mildly distracted.
You're telling us you're coming to at us live from the front.
Live from the front
Mm-hmm.
is Latara Tassador today.
What good things do you have to report from the front, sir?
9.6 billion Vindicator I killed.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
And what thing?
No doubt.
What things from the back?
I mean, I've lost several. Like,
I mean, I like things
ships.
from the back, but I mean, that's just me.
Oh my goodness.
What? I mean, I am part of the Bro Coalition, so naturally, I'm a pervertive, and very morally corrupt person. There you go.
Yes, but we don't have Rep here to balance you out today.
Rep brings out the bad in us.
I know.
Sure.
I feel bad when I talk bad without him around.
You shouldn't. You definitely shouldn't. But
No, I don't.
No, you should not. But either way, Void has been putting up fights. We had an extraordinary fight with Vetamune, and even though we had already taken the Catskull Cartel Citadel, which happened on Friday night, I believe it is now called the Twerkademy. But we did have a great fight with them, and they brought their kite fleet. It was interesting. We picked off some of their people. They picked off a couple of ours. But at the end of the day, Vetamune and I shook hands, and he was grateful for us just taking the fight because we had already taken the Citadel. The fight was just for us to have a little bit of content, have some fun, and keep on rolling. And of course, XV Tech MWG. That is where the Citadel. That I believe one of the Bell officers took that one, and by popular vote, that one was called the Bell-shaped booty because, yeah, because. Now, I don't want this war to sound one-sided. It's certainly not. Void has deployed their dragons into burst space, and they have been creating timers of their own.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of our home pocket is in armor right now, so they're doing work. They're doing work. We'll see if they can push them to Hull tomorrow. So stay tuned.
It will be very interesting. To be honest, I think that if they push them to Hull, it'll be a nice little turning point because so far the story has been, there's a lot of propaganda floating around that says that we're blobbing Void. Now, I want to go on record and just like underline this. No and Burr are two alliances. I believe that Yes does make up a third alliance, and they're an ally of No. But
don't forget about Yet.
Well, have we had that many Yet pilots in there? I haven't really seen that many.
For the all hands CTAs, yes. For the day-to-day, not really.
Yeah. Because Yet does PvP, but they don't do it as much as No does. So let's just say that the entire coalition of the Bro Coalition or the Bruno Coalition or whatever have you, let's just say that it's made up of 4 alliances. Meanwhile, the Pack Coalition as of right now is made up of Void, OG, TSC, Boop, Fear, Trimark, and did I miss anyone?
I think you covered them all.
Fear.
And I got Fear.
I think that's all up.
I got Fear. Okay, so basically, it is No and Burr are basically carrying the heavy lifting when it comes to making timers, and our allies mostly show up when it is time for us to try to snatch up that booty, and we know that Void is going to bring us a fight. It is a situation where I. Personally speaking, I'm out there on the front, and we welcome members of the Void, our OG community, to come in and to give us their thoughts. I don't myself understand where the blobbing is coming in. Um, from a pure numbers perspective, they outformed us by two, I think 3-1 on last Tuesday night. This was when I was in Fleet with Immortals and somehow got yeeted to a gate, and then subsequently, fended off like I think like 5 ships before they finally took me down. It was fine. It was fun, but I that was a really good farm up for them. It was an extraordinary farm up for them, and so I think that they can. I think that they can do a lot better. But I also think that this week is going to be the week they actually bring it.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I definitely think they're going to pick up the pace next week, and I don't think they are to be counted out just yet.
No.
I certainly would not.
They're not.
Yes, and welcome
wouldn't
to the
count 'em
studio,
out.
Mirage. Good to have you back. Yeah,
Thank you for having me.
of course, of course. I when it comes down to it, it's just the one thing that I am terrified for Void as far as war and such is concerned. I think at this point, I have earned the right to call myself a war vet of Eve. Because I've been in virtually every major conflict since the beginning of the game. The one thing from my perspective you never want to fall into is a complete, total, and utter defensive posture. Now they are sending in people to make timers, and I think that that's great, because they need those timers. But I feel like with so much of a defensive posture, it's going to be very difficult for them to really just push the momentum when it's time to go on offense, like when it's time for full deployment offensively, because you got to move ships. Prepare your pilots mentally, make them understand that, guys, you're going to have to potentially get up super early in Chinese prime time on days that you may not want to get up in order to be able to go and take those citadels. And there's a lot of logistics that's involved when you're talking about fighting a war. But one thing I've learned from my experience as an FC is that you cannot win a war from a defensive posture. It has never worked out very well, and I don't know how well it's going to work this time either. He's doing a great job with it. I'm just saying.
For sure, for sure. And Vetemune has always had the right idea.
Yes.
Like, he is a great PvPer, and he's got the right attitude for war. So I'm glad to see he's holding his guys together as much as he can.
Especially if he can align his fleet, take it up with us.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, he's always game for a fight. He is always game for a fight.
Yes, formidable. I would not count him out just yet.
Well, next week is going to be a true test since there are, like I said, almost 40 timers up for grabs. I believe that there are two more. There are 38. There are two more, I believe, that are up for grabs on tonight. So there is going to be some fighting tonight, and this is going to be, I think, Sunday more U.S. prime time. But it's a possibility that some of our EU friends will be able to, to make it as well. This is going to be interesting. I gotta say, it is going to be very interesting. We will continue, of course, to try to reach out to Void, reach out to OG, and see if they are willing to come on to make a statement. But well, I mean, unfortunately, a lot of them kind of just like refuse to talk to me and Latara at this point. So we do what we can.
I've received an encrypted message.
Yeah, I did invite. I did invite Sandman for today and Void Leadership, but neither decided to show. It's all good. It's up to them what stance they want to take and all that. So if that's what they want to do, it's what they want to do, and I'm okay with it.
100. And of course, you can feel free to drop in your comments on how this war is going in the Sound of Us, or perhaps things that we haven't really talked about concerning this war. But I mean, I think that Damon Zell still does. He still does pretty good content where he goes through all these things in more of a microscopic kind of lens. and he can get into exactly like all the
Located
numbers and all
here.
the details, all the little things that I don't like to do. It's kind of like with Benzie in the New Eden News segment. He does such a good job at going through and dissecting those patch notes that I don't. I just okay. So it's not just that. It's the fact that every time I read the Q&As, it makes me a little sad inside. but but I mean, Damon Zell does a great job with that, so it'll be very interesting to see how this whole thing does come down. And shout out to the guys in SHH. I think that we have a TSC pilot still here. I'm not sure what happened to Stony. He just kind of disappeared um, into nowhere, but it's fine. Um, yeah, uh, post those comments in the
Located
sound of
here.
us, and of course we will read them off right now. In the mix, this is "Burn It to the Ground" by Nickelback. And guests here in the studio, we're not going to prolong this one today because there is tons and tons and tons of content to enjoy. No matter which tag you're wearing at the moment, there's probably something and some way you can go out there and get yourself involved in this war. I think this is truly a universal war. I don't know. I think everyone except for Pravi is involved in this war.
And well, I mean, Silent are involved, but they're not involved, and
What?
I mean, Silent decided to make themselves involved.
Yeah, and I don't. I think. Yeah. There are a few people.
And I think that Alondria lost connection or something. But okay, unless it was me. Maybe it was me.
Out there.
Yep, definitely not. Definitely wasn't me. Okay, I was interested in hearing that thought, but yes. Um, so as Dre is pointing out in the sound of us, yes, Silent is third parting, and they are basically just doing what they want to do, I guess. I mean, they are equal opportunists. They'll shoot Void, OG, SHH, TSC, anyone who happens to be in one of the war zones. They don't really care. Yes, they have shot us. I mean, they probably shot us more times than they've shot the Pack Coalition. So, it's fine. It's just good fun for everyone. And maybe they were hurting for content too, so they're third partying things. But either way, everyone is pretty much into this one. I know that this show is, even though we have members from pretty much all over the galaxy, always issuing a special thanks to the members of Burr and, of course, No, as well as associates. I know you guys are always here to support this show. Many of us at the moment are probably resting because, what can I say? It's been a very busy week, and it's going to be an even busier week on next week. To the other members, the other alliances, I think that we have representatives from Ret C, TSC, Valor, and of course Fear. So shout out to you guys, and thanks for thanks for tuning into the show on this week. And we really do want to get more representation from like both sides and everything, but of course we're not going to drag people onto the show if they don't want to be here. Void has always had a stance where they don't really like to speak too much in the public eye because that's just the kind of community that they are. SHH is very similar. I've had a few times where I probably could have gotten representation over from SHH, but unfortunately, it's a difficult time period for us to make work for them. So we're going to have a show on a different day to get SHH leadership back here on the show. But nevertheless, it's a very open community experience. We want to keep it that way. Hopefully we will hear something from Void or OG, but even if not, those communities should be put to notice that they are very welcome here, even if they want to come in and just like and grill us, because Latar and I are both part of Burr, and Mirage is here, who joins us often, is part of No, and yeah, I mean, come on in, feel free to grill us. You can have a pass for this war. It's all well and good. No one's gonna be salty.
Oh, there you go.
yeah. Otherwise, guys, leaving you with this one, The Hand That Feeds by 9 Inch Nails. Go out there, get some content. If you are part of the bromance, I will be seeing you on Grid, and if you're not, I guess that you'll have an opportunity to collect yourself a Mackenzie kill mail. Forgot who got mine last week, but more opportunities to get one of those if you don't have one. Love, hugs, and kisses, and